Hey, a little piece of news because of Jessica Proud's very persuasive argument. Apparently the NFL and the refs are on the 1 yard line to a deal here, if not even crossing the goal line. You like my football analogy. Anyway, looks like they're very close, and we're probably going to have a deal before the evening's out. We'll keep you updated. All right, let's get to some political stories. And Tom, I'm going to start with you on this one. Try and be brief. Some mounting trouble here for Staten Island Congressman Michael Grimm. The Republican incumbent campaign's office vandalized over the weekend, 3 windows shattered. Grimm then claimed the office's computer hard drives were wiped clean. These, the photos of the damage provided by a press release, in fact, from the Grimm camp. Congressman immediately condemned the attack as a, quote, politically motivated one and an assault on democracy and the political process. But here is where this thing gets a little bit of a problem for the congressman. Police reported no forced entry to the office. Then word that an 8th grader had come forward admitting to throwing concrete through the window, but no one touched the hard drives or computers. Why, you ask, is this a problem? Grimm being investigated by the FBI for taking illegal campaign contributions, information that could have been stored on the hard drives in that office, and information that, if now has gone missing, could not be blamed on some 8th grader throwing a chunk of concrete. I'm sorry, this thing don't smell right here. And for them to go magically say, hey, it rocked through the window, we lost our hard drives, and oh, never mind, it's all still there. Pretend you're running the campaign against them. And he's up, by the way, Grimm, right now.
He's up 10, but, you know, I've been very consistent about this, and I said it on another station about a month ago. The problem for Grimm, yeah, I know, the problem for Grimm is that where there's smoke, and there's a lot of smoke around him, is that at some point you're going to find a fire. And he's very lucky that he's very, very well liked in Staten Island, fits very well into the character of the sort of center-right model politics there, but this is always the next story for Michael Grimm, and I just think that he's one real story away from people going, the rest of it was all true, and that's his problem right now.
Now, Chris Christie, listen, we talked a lot about him here. I'm one of the few fans here, though, we're the regular guys around the table, not necessarily what he does, but I think the style, I understand why it resonates. Dominic's already given me a dirty look.
Dirty look.
But I always thought there was a method to the madness here. I thought that it wasn't just style, there was some substance. He had an idea what he was doing. But in the midst of a tour to promote a self-styled Jersey comeback, numbers don't add up here, and the state facing massive budget shortfalls as the revenue that Christie said would pay for the tax cuts hasn't materialized. Unemployment in the state here, almost 10%, 4th highest of all 50, and now the state has put almost $300 million meant to help people facing foreclosure into the general ledger, where it appears to help up shores the state's expanding deficit. Now, Christie says the state holding the money and the policy in limbo, but rather than discuss the program with a reporter for WABC, this is instead what he did.
Next question. This is an urgent issue facing the state. Michael, why would you blow it off? Michael, please, help me ignore him. Governor? Go ahead. A lot of people get your, listen, don't show up, listen, do me a favor. Don't show up once in every blue moon and think you're going to dominate my press conference, okay? So get your facts correct and ask the fact. 100,000 people foreclosed on in the state. Thank you very much. Very much. Michael?
That was pretty tame, Tom. I didn't have a big problem with that. A lot of people made a big deal.
That wasn't tame. He was trying to use one reporter against another. I keep trying to explain to you, this guy is a disaster waiting to happen. He's a bad impersonation of Rudy Giuliani, and it's not flying.
Really? It's not flying where?
It's not flying with the residents of the state.
Oh, really?
Let me give you a fact, Dominic.
Let me give you a fact. Let's hear this fact. I'll give you the fact.
Let's hear this fact.
The Philadelphia Inquirer,
yes,
not some bastion of conservatism.
Yes, yes, sir.
Recently, their most recent poll in the last 2 weeks,
yes,
59% approval rating for Christie, his highest since taking office. More importantly, +8 on is New Jersey headed in the right direction.
But can I ask you a question?
Wait,
can I ask you a question?
The first time that number has been headed in a positive side in 8 years. Shouldn't you be saying?
Now polls matter.
No,
now polls matter.
No, but I'm just saying to you is that do you think that that's bad?
Can I ask you one question, Brother Dohrerty?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just one.
Yep.
Wasn't he the guy that got up at the convention, national convention, completely bombed, played up himself, didn't mention Romney until 17 minutes in, and talked
completely
about
bombed.
completely
Hang on,
and
can
talked
I
about
just
New
say
Jersey comeback.
that
Where's the comeback?
Governor
Where's the comeback?
do
Where's
this
the
all the
comeback?
time.
What does that mean, completely
Jessica,
bombed?
one nice piece of news that we heard in the last 24 hours, at least for me, we know in Albany on the same-sex marriage vote came down. To me, I thought there was 4 lawmakers who took a courageous stand here, and they voted with principle. One of them didn't seek re-election. One ain't going to make it. Steve Saland from Poughkeepsie, who you see there on your screen here, I've had the pleasure of dealing with. Don't agree with him on a lot of issue stuff, but I will tell you, he is a person of principle, and thankfully, after a vicious, very tough primary challenge, he's going to keep his job. And you know what? I think that's good for the state of New York.
Bravo.
Agreed.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, is the right to vote under attack in America? We'll have the results in a new report that says voter ID laws could be a big problem. Stay with us.